In last week's midterms, the state of Nevada voted to make sweeping changes to their election system, which includes open primary elections in which the top 5 candidates advance, and then ranked choice voting in general elections. Nevada now becomes the 3rd state to approve ranked choice voting for elections, following Alaska and Maine.
Former presidential candidate and public proponent of ranked choice voting, Andrew Yang, explains how it's already begun to change the electoral process in these states. Let's take a listen.
You see these structures working in a place like Alaska, where Lisa Murkowski bravely voted to impeach Donald Trump and made it back through the primary because they did away with the party primary and said anyone can vote for anyone. Sarah Palin loses in that primary for the same reason. We have to change the structures and the incentives, or else we're going to reward bad behavior, and we're going to see more of it.
Co-chair of the Forward Party, Andrew Yang, joins us now to discuss. It's wonderful to see you, Andrew.
Great to be here, Robbie. Yes, on 3. And this also means independents can vote in the primary in Nevada. I know a lot of people watching the Hill are independents, and a lot of them are locked out of primaries. It's totally messed up. It's wrong. You're paying for elections you can't even participate in.
Yeah, so tell us more about what the Nevada proposal will accomplish. I understand this is going to have now there's a 5 candidates advancement. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, the most important part is that anyone can vote for anyone in an all-party primary, so you don't have these party bosses essentially cordoning it off and saying, hey, here's your choice. You can vote for anyone. This also means that even if you're not in the party of the candidate you're trying to influence, they have to listen to you, because they have to get 51% of the general public to support them, and not just the 10 to 12% on the side, or half of the 10 to 12% on the side, which, by the way, is deranging our politics. It's why so many Americans feel like we're on the outside looking in. There is a way out of this. You can get rid of the party primaries, and Nevadans raise their hands. By the way, both parties were against this. They said, hey, it's going to be confusing, it's going to be cumbersome, but common sense won. Independent voters won, where the voters of Nevada said, you know what, I'd prefer it if you had to listen to me rather than us having to listen to you and take the choices that you're forcing on us.
Well, and you can see how this could actually, in theory, sober up the Republican Party a little bit, in that they keep advancing because the very vocal in the primaries kind of MAGA base keeps putting forward these candidates that fare so poorly in general elections when there were other better options, but the other better options can't survive against the hardcore Trump wing in the primary. So this would have the influence of independents and centrists and moderates could actually be good in some ways for the electoral prospects of more sane members of both parties.
Well, it would certainly make your nominee more electable. And one example that is not discussed at all is that Glenn Youngkin in Virginia was the product or beneficiary of a ranked choice voting system in Virginia, where there were some extremists running against Youngkin, and then Youngkin got the nod because of RCV in large part, and then he was more electable, and then he ended up winning in the general. And the clip you showed had me discussing Lisa Murkowski and Sarah Palin benefiting. I mean, Sarah Palin's the poster child for someone who would win in a normal primary but loses in the general. And so Alaska benefited, and what you just said is right, is that the parties actually benefit. The reason why they're fighting this is a mystery to me, because it's actually going to end up with much more generally appealing candidates if you want to win. The issue here is that parties actually aren't as concerned with victory as they are control.
So how did they pull this off? I mean, both parties were against it. What did they do right? How do you make something like this happen?
It was fun because I was in Nevada campaigning for this down the stretch, and you saw the ads. And the ads were that there was a military veteran saying, I serve the country, I'm an independent, why can't I vote in the primary? I mean, it's pretty hard to argue against that. I was talking to a couple of porters on the Strip who said to me, everyone I know is voting yes on 3 because they just instinctively recognized that it was good for the voters. Now, it's a big investment, frankly, to get those ads on TV and to spread the word, because if the parties are against it, you need to have some resources to bear. And so grateful to everyone who decided to contribute to the Yes on 3 Nevada Voters First campaign. And we're going to have to do it again in Nevada in 24 because of a quirk in Nevada law that says you essentially have to pass it twice. But you commented that this is the 3rd state And we're looking to expand this to other ballot initiative states in 2024 to turn off the polarization, to make it so that our elected representatives actually have to listen to us.
Right. So speaking about the electorate, a new Public Religion Research Institute poll found that 42% of Americans would vote for a new political party that's somewhere in between Democrats and Republicans, with Democrats more likely to vote for a centrist candidate than Republicans. Here's my question for you. It seems to me that there is a huge portion of the American electorate, of the American body politic, that has been sort of erased by the way our two-party system is set up. And Robbie will probably disagree with me about this, but I think that those people tend to be the kind of people who are socially conservative, but economically more protectionist, let's say, right? More left-wing, or what used to be left-wing. The kind of people that actually Trump spoke to, where they want more government intervention in protecting jobs and protecting industry and protecting manufacturing, but they're also socially conservative. And I wonder, are these the kind of people that the Forward Party is speaking to and speaking for, or is it more the opposite?
Or is it speaking to culturally, well, not leftist, but culturally moderate, live and let live kind of people who think the government is overly tinkering in our economy,
right, the libertarians who are socially liberal.
Which way, centrist man?
To your point, Bacha, if you go around to red states, there's a broad amount of support for things like lowering prescription drug prices. Sorry, Robbie.
Well, that one's a little different. I don't know. That one you can have
just common sense policies that look out for the everyday American. And it's not super ideological. People are for public education. People are for public safety, for sure. People are for better health care. And really the question is, how the heck do you get there? At this point, neither party has to truly respond to how the heck you improve the life of the farming community in Iowa or Ohio, or for the family in Harlem. The fact is that right now 37 states have one party rule. And in one party rule, do they really have to listen to you so much? So one of the goals of the Forward Party is to create real dynamism and choice in different communities. And it's going to look different in different communities. But the big themes of the Forward Party are just to make our communities thrive again. And that can mean different things to different people. But there's this hunger and this need. Butcha pointed out that story that said 42% want an alternative. If you look at the percentage of Americans who want a third party, it's actually more like 62%, with that 42% defining this moderate middle.
Andrew, what is your big takeaway from the election results? A disappointing night from the standpoint of Republicans in many ways, although they are going to take the House, it looks like. I know the Forward Party was supportive of Evan McMullin in Utah, who also had Democratic support and ran against Mike Lee and did not win, although got 40-something% of the vote. What are your big takeaways?
We're in a 50-50 nation where the polarization, unfortunately, is getting worse, not better. And the question is, how the heck do we move forward right now in such a divided time? Like you said, Robbie, the Republicans will probably have the House very slightly. The Democrats will have the Senate very slightly. How much is going to get done? Probably not a whole heck of a lot. The clock's going to turn towards 2024. You are, in my opinion, more likely to see a Trump-Biden rematch because of the midterms, and that's one of the big impacts. And you're shaking your head, Robbie, because 58% of Americans don't really want that rematch,
right.
Aren't excited about either one.
Yeah.
Their combined age in 2024 will be 159 at the end of that year. And one of the major impacts of this midterm result is that 2024 rematch now, in my mind, is easily the most likely scenario.
A system that serves us up Hillary, Trump, Biden, and Trump, Biden. Something has gone horrifically wrong.
Horribly wrong, my friend. That's right.
People would agree. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Take care.
Great seeing you.
We'll have more Rising right after this.